ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hello everyone and welcome back towards the match day number 3 of the ESL Pro League Season 5 NA Division. And well, we've just finished off one match, but we're on to the second one, which is going to be an absolute blockbuster. So SK up against compLexity, Brainstorm. What do you think of it?
Well, it's going to be a cracker either way. Now, SK, we've seen a lot of these guys, right? They were the #1 team in the world for so long last year. They won both majors that we had. I mean, last year was a year of only 2 majors rather than our standard 3, but SK took out both of them. They've been so strong and they've been so high in the world rankings for so long. They're still top 5 now, even after making a roster change. I mean, we've seen FNX exchanged for Phelps, but they're going to be incredibly strong. And compLexity, I mean, they've already had a day here of ESL Pro League. They played NRG over on Nuke and Cobble, and they went 1-1. So not a bad showing from them, but I think they've certainly got their work cut out for them against SK.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look towards the schedule for the rest of the day as well. So we've got, obviously, compLexity versus SK on this stream. On the main stream, we have Luminosity Gaming up against Renegades as Team Liquid Cat cleans up Misfits with a 2-0 victory, I guess to say. Winning 16-5 in Cage made it look pretty easy. It reflected on the score as well. CLG made very easy work of Winterfox on Mirage, 16-5 after a very, very tight fought struggle on Cage. So, look, let's talk more about compLexity because SK Gaming, as we mentioned earlier, you know, we could go on and on about them. But compLexity, they've taken a couple of victories so far this season, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they went 1-1 against NRG yesterday, and they look surprisingly good. So their first map, the map that they won, the score was 16-7. That was on Nuke. So maybe not a map that's as standard, but definitely a map they were strong on, and certainly a good one. But this map for now is going to be, I believe, going to be on Overpass by the looks. Anyway, we do have the lineups here of SK and compLexity. As we can see, for SK Gaming, we've had Phelps swapped out for FNX. He's going to be over actually swapping directly with Phelps, going over to Immortals. We saw them play yesterday, but now it's SK. As for compLexity, they made a roster change of their own. They've got Desi in place of Ape, and Desi's certainly a strong fragger, so good to see him in there. We'll have to see, though, if these guys can step up against SK today.
Yeah, it looks like Android X23 is going to also pick up his game as well. Android definitely one of the critical players going forward in towards this matchup. And I think for compLexity, you know, a lot of people would say SK Gaming, sure, you know, top 5 team in the world. But compLexity, you know, they've taken victories against Liquid. They've taken victories against Misfits. They've also defeated Immortals as well. This is not suddenly, you know, a long shot. On a map that they can, you know, maybe have a couple more tricks, maybe take down SK Gaming when they're a little bit cold. All of a sudden, you know, they can... I don't think that they can pick up 2 maps. This is the first thing to point out. They're not going to go 2-0 in my opinion. I believe that they'll go 1-1.
I mean, I agree with you there. They've certainly got a shot of going 1-1. And the other thing as well that they have going for them, I guess, is the underdog factor, the unknown factor. SK, everybody knows them, and everybody knows who they are and how they play. Of course, the problem with going against that is if you look at SK statistically, I believe they have a positive win rate on 5 out of the 7 maps in the pool. So that's unbelievably strong. And of course, you know, with the individual skill they'll have as well, you would expect SK to take out the win based on aim ability alone in pretty much any map in the pool. But compLexity, they've only played a couple of maps here so far at the ESL Pro League, and they've only played, I think, not many times this year with this new roster where they have Desi in place of Ape. So possibly the unknown factor could go their way.
And I think the problem with the unknown factor, though, going into the first map, which is going to be Overpass, is that statistically, compLexity do not have a good rating on this map. So the favor, once again, is going to be in SK Gaming's favor. What can compLexity bring out? Do they start, you know, on the CT side? I don't even think it's enough to be starting on the CT side, to be fair. SK Gaming, they've been able to practice for so long, it's going to take a heroic effort out of some of the individual plays to, I guess, take them out.
You say that, though. compLexity will be starting on that CT side up against SK on the T. Pistol round underway here. We do have, in terms of utility, we've got 1 utility player going to be Fallen, the IGL for SK, picking up 2 flashes and a smoke to help them out on their T side. And Surreal over on CT has himself a smoke and a kit. So that kit's going to be very helpful for compLexity if it comes down to maybe a clutch situation. They can use that to give themselves effectively an extra 5 seconds to make the retake happen. For now, though, SK playing slow. They've got Bomb in towards that party area, top of connector. And a couple of players moving up long, a couple of players in the underpass. We already had Phelps trying to spot out the boost there. Not going to get the kill early or any damage done. But just as we hit, 50 seconds gone now, looks like SK will be moving towards this upper bomb site.
Yeah, so it looks like Cold Zero has actually managed to sneak very, very close to long A roll. I think Android has spotted out a couple towards long A, and Surreal also dueling out, realizing it's not the best option. He does have a smoke grenade, and he probably needs to use it soon. He does not want to be caught out in the open without it being used. And Android, no support coming out from Surreal right now, as Fur also picks up a kill on towards Def. And compLexity kind of falling apart at the moment. Well, Fur does take a bit of friendly damage from a Glock. Tags him nicely up for a little bit, but otherwise the bomb plant does go down on the A site. Still a chance of doing this. You know, the kit's in the right position, but they still have to navigate so many Ts.
Yeah, they've got to get in there now if they want to make this happen. And there finally will be the first kill of the round. They're actually going to throw a smoke onto the bomb straight away and get on the defuse as well. That's Surreal. He's still on this thing. If he can hold it right now, his teammates can do enough to hold him off. But Fur coming through actually a fraction too late. compLexity, after taking so long to get in on that with the smoke on the bomb, they managed to get the diffuser across the line with the kit. There was only half a second in, I think, before that diffuser was killed. But they get it. And against all odds, compLexity take the pistol round.
I correct myself. Surreal actually holding onto the smoke grenade was a very smart decision. At the same time, SK Gaming, I think they played way too respectful. Falling all the way back, you know. They really have to show why they're the top team. And, you know, forcing up here, not a bad decision. You know, they're going to be confident going in towards this one. Phelps should have spotted Desi crossing. Desi is a little bit stuck towards unders. You see Phelps making his way up with the Tech 9. You have 3 players with a helmet as well, Tech 9 and armor. And Taco is going to be making his way out. Taco's going to take a lot of damage, and Def missing a lot of shots. Does say, you know, get one bullet in as a, I guess, a farewell gesture. But otherwise, for now, compLexity, you know, still holding on to the lines, still holding on towards the territories. The Surreals posted very close up towards long A, very off angle. Now, the Ts do need to check this, and Fallen does have that scout, and from what we can see from him, you know, he's going to tag Desi immediately. That's damage done.
Fallen so dangerous with every sniper rifle. Not with this one, though, as Surreal will catch him out from that off angle, as you said. Now, Fur going to be the next one here to peek, and actually early damage done from Surreal, trying to get it across the line, but Cold will take him out. Of course, Cold Zero, one of the most dangerous players in the world. #1, I believe, on HLTV last year, so such a monster to go up against, and very fitting, of course, that he has the rifle. But here, in a 4-on-4, the weapon advantage is still with compLexity, so we'll have to see if they can manage to bring it back against SK. But unfortunately for them, they have to split their attention. While the early picks have been towards A, they cannot confirm that until right now, where I think Def just spotted it out. They know the grenades are now coming in. The rotates will be coming. But Desi, so much damage taken. Actually gets a kill onto Phelps, running out with that MP9. Fur will trade him out. Now Def trying to play games in the smoke, waiting for his teammates to come in and help him. Uber already here. Def could actually stop the bomb plant right now if he goes through the smoke so close. Shooting the other player instead. Bomb plant does go down. Heavy damage to Cold Zero. And my goodness, compLexity looking good to get back into this one. Still 2 players to find. Taco running over towards the toilets, getting away with his life for now. But Cold, so low, and dead as well. And now Android has spotted out Taco. We'll be going for the engagement, and we'll take him out as well. So compLexity getting the first 2 rounds on the board.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake for SK not to be looking at the smoke. A gamble play coming out from the UMP. I believe it was from potentially Def or Desi, who just pushed through and got the kill and fell back safely. So that not only denied, I guess, a little bit of territory that SK Gaming could have had, but also did a heavy chunk of damage towards Cold Zero. And Uber guessed correctly where he was playing towards, you know, that little headshot position just outside of A. As a result, compLexity, you know, a strong start. You know, it's early days still. Don't want to be giving, you know, too much hope towards this. It's still a good start, but there's still so much work to do in this half.
Absolutely, but I think on the whole, compLexity will be happy with every single round they win here. They're up against, they are the underdogs, there is no arguing that. And of course they have a chance, and that's a good way to continue that, with 3 kills going their way now. But they do have a chance, naturally. Everyone has a chance. This is Counter-Strike, that's how the game works. But they're going to be happy with every single round they can win. And every single round they lose as well is going to be a great opportunity for review later, thinking if this is how the best team in the world punishes us and we can try and adapt to that, then that's going to be wonderful for later on. Cold trying to make an issue of it, does get 1 kill with the Desert Eagle, but will be taken out for a relatively clean anti-eco and a 3-0 for compLexity. And I think an important point for SK is what you raised before here. They are giving these guys a bit too much respect. They're post plants. They're playing really far back. They're being, all right, they're going to push us. They're going to be winning Angels. I think for SK right now, if they just run in there with those 5 AKs, go for the headshots, and just give compLexity no respect, it's going to be difficult for them to hold.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be confident taking these aim deals, and at the moment, it doesn't look like, you know, they're willing to challenge compLexity too much. Now, things are going to change up a little bit. There's no AWP on the side of SK Gaming, while on the side of compLexity, Surreal with the AWP. So let's see how we can, I guess, utilize the sniper rifle as well. Just utilizing, I guess, the edge of the smoke to see if we can spot for information. Android does pop open the door. Very risky maneuver. But, oh, spotted out by Taco. Surreal doesn't actually find Fur. But Taco at the same time gets a nice headshot towards Desi. He's tagged up quite well. Phelps can't find the head of Uber. So Uber gets out of there completely safe and sound as the bomb is slowly moving his way towards B side. Taco is very low. HP advantage in the favor of complexity, but still a lot of work to hold into this B side. The advantage is they have a lot of grenades in the hands of Uber to use. Surreal just going to be locking down the A side right now. It's Def. Oh no, he's pushed in a little bit too early. And I don't think he's gathered enough information to really tell Surreal to be rotating out. And SK can be going towards either side right now. This is the danger. Uber's got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. He's got to get at least 1 kill, maybe 2 here to try and help his teammate out. And he will not manage to find onto Fall and does so much damage. 2 of these guys so low, but coldzera on full health. That is never a player you want to have health. He is so, so dangerous. And that wallbang was very close from Surreal, but not going to finish off Fall. Only 2 HP remaining for him. And Surreal's decided, I think, he's had enough of this round. Maybe just trying to do a little bit more damage from that heaven position, but going to be falling back, actually. Fallen already pushing him in a whiffed, missed shot. There we go, from Surreal. So he's just going to be running away. SK will turn it back around. It looked good there for complexity. And I mean, it still can. They're going to keep this AWP alive. Ideally, unless, you know, Cold comes through with a ridiculous peak or Fallen manages to work his way up.
I think Cold should be able to get this kill. They should suspect that he hasn't been able to exit CT, so, you know, Fallen's still watching the line. I think Surreal should just whip out the Deagle at this moment. It's such tight range, you know.
The timing.
He will be able to get out alive. He spotted Fallen's feet. Also spots out coldzera, but can't get the kill. Fallen does die into the bomb explosion, though, so, you know, complexity do take the AWP in the next round, and they should be able to purchase up. Desi won't be able to have much, but Surreal can drop an M4 for Android. Well, I'm waiting to see who exactly drops something for Android, but it looks like one of them does have to go with a UMP or for Mars. And, you know, SK, just getting the picks and then working the map. The complexity just kind of fell apart. They had a lot of grenades to use. They didn't really have to, you know, push in aggressively, and I'm going to pin a lot of the fault on towards Def. There was no need to push in. You know, you have that utility in Uber's hand who could allow you to flash in as complexity.
Nice pick, though.
I love seeing this from complexity. They're changing things up. They're showing no fear going against one of the top teams, and that's exactly how they need to proceed to take this game.
Absolutely. That is the only attitude you can have when you're complexity. You know, maybe a top 20 or 30 team in the world going up against SK, who has been #1 and is always going to be in contention for that top 5 spot. The only thing you can really do is have no fear. It's your best option, really. Just think, all right, these guys got nothing on us. Let's do what we can to take it out. And there's a good start. Desi is going to pick up the first kill on Phelps. Cold, of course, it's Cold, answering back with a nice headshot onto him. They're actually going to be boosting up into heaven here, going for this counter. Well, I thought they were, but they were going to give up on that idea. Uber will pick up Cold, so it's a 3-on-4. The Danger Man, well, one of them removed Fur Tag low as well, but this crossfire from SK is so nice, and Complexity still not figuring it out. Tarkov in the corner finding it, but now Fallen left in the 1-on-1. Android up against Fallen, trying to keep his team alive in this one. Will pick into Fallen, but will go down. HP advantage was with Fallen all through that. And of course, Fallen, the IGL of SK, the mastermind himself in a 1vx situation. He's always so consistent, and he will deliver in that one.
Yeah, and this is where SK, you know, are signed up by a couple of SMGs now. You know, they can read that complexity is going to be broke after this one. Complexity just eco one more. That's why they're not buying too much. They can still purchase up into a full buy set in the next one. One thing to note, though, Phelps is still 0-5. Hasn't made his mark yet playing that unders position. I noticed yesterday, I think it was FNX who played unders for Immortal. So, you know, almost like a direct switch of roles, effectively.
Yeah, maybe just going for an upgrade in fragging power. Speaking of fragging power, there's a lot of kills going the way of SK right now. 2 for Cold, 1 for Fur, 1 for Fallen, and there we go. Fallen will get another one to get himself a 2k in the round. So, as expected, perhaps, a nice clean mop-up out of SK of Complexity there. We're back at a tied scoreline here, but Complexity, maybe not going to be able to get the... Okay, they will get a buy-off in this round. They've got themselves some M4s, and they've got an AWP as well. And still no AWP out for SK. But when that happens, if you're Surreal, having to go up AWPing against Fallen is just a terrifying matchup. But again, these guys right now playing with the correct attitude, which is to have no fear, go against them as best you can. And so far, I mean, they've won 3 rounds. It's working out for them.
This is the correct way to be, I guess, playing that AWP at the moment. Desi playing a little bit with fire.
Past him.
Whoop, they just jumped over him. They're just going to clean him up. And Surreal playing towards an unders position. So much pressure coming out on towards his position. Now the bomb's actually falling all the way down. Great shots being drawn out, and Tarko will be able to complete the job that Fallen, I guess, started. As Fur coming very close, gets one. Also spots out Android, the spray. Not working in his favor this time. Android does manage to get another one, but a 2-on-3. And Android's under severe pressure coming out right now. Uber's trying to find a nice spot on towards short water to cut off any potential rotation. And it looks like this rotation may happen because coldzera and Fallen are coming across, and the flashbang now coming out.
And Uber's going to have a lot of pressure on him here, but he will pick up the kill on Cold. That's a nice start. Fallen Molotovs him out and hits that shot as well.
Ridiculous.
My goodness, SK. These guys, they're turning out to play today. And now Android left in the 1-on-2. We've talked about this guy before. We've talked about how well he's been playing for his team, and indeed he has been. But to step up in a 1-on-2 against SK, that would be something else.
Look, so far what we're seeing from Complexity, you know, it's pretty good. It's not bad. You know, we were expecting SK to be taking these rounds cleanly. It's been a scrap fight so far, and you know what? compLexity, I love this play coming out from them. You know, that's great team play coming from SK Gaming. That's just experience, you know, peeking behind the flashbang. But compLexity, making these unorthodox plays that you normally see, you know, if you were afraid of an opponent, a lot of the time you try to sit back with the AWP and try to say a safe line. I love what Surreal's doing. You know, maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe he can only get 1 or 2 picks. But at the very least, they are attempting something different. They are taking the fight towards SK. And that is the way, that is the key to victory if they are to take this map.
Absolutely. That's what they have to do. They have to be just not afraid. And so far, they are doing a good job of that. I mean, they're only 1 round behind, and we were talking about SK's experience before. That's really those sorts of situations, the 2-on-1s in SK's favor. Those are situations where their experience and their teamwork is going to come through. They're so good at using multiple people to isolate fights against a single player. So for compLexity here, I mean, I like what Surreal's been doing individually with his AWP, but that is really one of the only 1v1 or 1v however many fights you can take on SK. You need to be working as a team to try and shut them down because their crossfires, their movement, their team play, everything is just so good, which is what you expect from a high-tier team. But for now, just pistols. Desi, very close in this smoke here. Trying to find a member of SK, perhaps with their back turned. Not going to get it done for now. Maybe just trying to be a little bit sneaky in that smoke, but now Cold is in here. Cold is coming his way, and Cold is one of those players you don't want coming your way. Desi brings it close, takes Cold down to 4 HP, but no kill. And the rest of compLexity really are hanging back a bit. They're just over in that connector, over on the lower side. Going to be moving through to the upper side now, but if they don't move quickly, SK is going to get there before them.
I think SK has read this correctly. Taco is just going to be the sacrificial bait towards the B side. As soon as Taco goes in, if you can get 1 or 2 kills, once again, that's good stuff done. As he will pick off Android at barrels at the same time. Surreal has spotted out 1T. Taco's tagged down quite low. Surreal gets a pick on towards Fallen with the Desert Eagle. As now the rest of SK do enter the A side. Taco is low, so is Cold 0. So all of a sudden, it's actually quite close between the two. compLexity can do some more damage, you know. Who knows what can happen as Ferb will be pushing in towards that bank to see if he can cash in on a kill.
That's an off angle and a half right there. Phelps was just baiting for him. If Phelps couldn't get the pick, then we would have had Fer able to, but Taco does go down. I think he was on 12 HP or something very low like that. So fair enough that he dies. Cold also low, but there's going to be the kill. Fer will walk through, take that one, and now Uber, the last player remaining here, 1 versus 3. He's way off in the back of T-Spawn, actually in the playground there, and there's not going to be any players anywhere near him at all. I mean, he will be able to save this AK that he's found for himself, but probably not getting any kills unless the last 2 Ts on long there push up right now to get at him. I believe that is Phelps and Cold. Cold will not want anything to do with an area where he has nose clear because he's only on 4 HP. He wants to keep himself and his AK alive. But another round for SK there. I mean, decent damage and a gun covered by compLexity, so not bad from them, but this is where SK can just start to grind away at you.
Yeah, this is where if SK are allowed to carry on these rounds, taking so many people into the next one further and further, they're economy is going to be absolutely great. You can see now they have finally picked up the AWP and Fallen, and this is going to be matching up against Surreal. Once again, Surreal changing things up. I really love this AWP play coming out of compLexity. They do utilize quite a lot of resources to get Surreal in these positions, but at the same time, you know, it's good to see that kind of team play. And at the same time, Surreal so far has been paying those dividends, you know, maybe not the entire amount, but just slightly. So they're going to keep funneling resources. Uber thinking about, this is actually a great spot because it's a very off angle. I would like to see a surf coming out from Uber, but he decides not to do it.
Yeah, just going to be sitting there for now and still holding the angle. The grenade over there from the CT is not going to do any damage at all. It looked close, but not enough. Now, I do like this position from Def. He's actually got a forward position and he's got teammates back there as well to try and draw the Ts in so we can shoot him in the back. So if that works out for him, it's going to be huge. But right now, it looks like Cold. Of course, Cold is ready for it. We'll peek straight into him, drop him with a quick headshot. And that's the problem. You can't take these one-on-one fights against SK because no matter who you are, no matter which team you are, SK are just so good that the majority of the time you're going to lose them.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I want to encourage Def, though, because it's hard to win those aim deals as Desi does get another pick. Does forward safely. He's very low, but SK were not close enough to reapply that pressure. Phelps now coming across, should be able to get this trade. Desi can't cross into the open like that, and Surreal now with a difficult job of task at holding onto this A side by himself. And, well, with 30 seconds left on the time, SK Gaming decide maybe it's potentially time to fall back to B side. I'm not sure if Android managed to spot out Taco towards short, but it looks like they are coming towards the B side where there are 2 members there. A lot of work for them to do as Android is going to be mulling off short water. It's all to Uber to hold this B. Long pushes. Phelps is going to be the first man out. There it is. Uber gets 1. He is going to be traded out by Fallen. That is great trading teamwork coming out from SK's. Android, his head's been spotted out, and he is no much longer for the world. And Surreal, 1 and 3. I don't think there's anything he can do.
If he denied that plant, that would have been it. There was so little time left on the clock, but not going to get it done. And now 50 HP. He's already got Fallen coming in. Both going to miss their shots, actually. Fallen pulling out the pistol. I don't know how that missed from Surreal. That's a bit unfortunate for him, but Fallen will get the kill. Clean it up. 6-3 now for SK. And perhaps a bit more of what we expected starting to come out in that SK are just starting to grind away here.
Yeah, they're starting to win the aim deals, and the trade's just working in their favor. So even with the B-side players, you know, you saw Uber, he was in a position, and so many times you would see teams just massing up towards the B monster area and just getting stuck there. But they were able to play the angle successfully. You know, Phelps dies for the team, but they were able to get the trade. So unfortunately, Phelps is sacrificial lamb, but more than happy to play that role, and that allows them success going forward. Now another eco coming out from compLexity. You know, body armor on a couple of players because they're getting that lost money bonus now. But SK starting to get confident now, starting to win these one-on-one aim deals. compLexity, they're starting to feel a little bit scared as Phelps. Whoa. Great entry as Surreal takes his place.
Ooh, Android going to pick up a 1D on Taco though. Fur trading out Desi. Now Surreal hoping that the same angle will not be checked twice. It's actually a smart move from him. And if he looks the right way, he could catch up Phelps, but not going to do it. Now Uber with this AK trying to do what he can here. Phelps is right around that corner. There's actually two members of SK. There goes for the spray. Gets one, gets two. Nice work there from Uber. Evening it back up. We're now in a 2-on-2 again here. Android only on the Deagle. Going to be moving through up to the A site, where it looks like SK are now going to be going, and going quickly as well. Fur on the entry, moving in quickly, trying to beat these CTs here, and unbeknownst to them, he will. Teammate Fallen coming through behind him with the bomb. Should go down pretty cleanly here for SK. The question will be if compLexity can get this retake across the line, but look at this forward position from Fur.
Oh, Fur's not looked, and Android, another nice Deagle shot. Fallen planning on the truck. 1-on-2, he whips out the Tech 9 instead of using Orb, instantly dinks out the full health player, takes down Uber, but he doesn't realize there's two of them down. Android peeking out just at the right time. We'll get the clutch, an eco win coming out from compLexity. Well played from Android, clutching it out with 3 kills, as well as Uber picking up the AK-47 that Android dropped off one of the members of SK to get the double in unders.
And it's worth pointing out as well there just how unlucky Fallen was. There's two players there. One of them is low HP. The first one, high HP, peeks out. Fallen dinks him. So he thinks, you know, the next player who peeks, I'll be able to kill him with one bullet. The next player peeks, it's the other already low HP player. Fallen thinks, all right, I've dinked one and I've taken him out with one bullet. That's the only player there. Little did he know he saw two. But, of course, unfortunately, the knowledge not going his way, and the clutch would have picked up the eco win coming out of compLexity as well, and now they've got themselves a bunch of rifles back up again. They'll be able to get back in here, and compLexity looking a lot better than perhaps they have any right to here against SK, but of course, always exciting to see, although these guys are so blind. The entry's coming in. That's unfortunate. Now, there's a lot of work to do. Goes for the spray, can't decide which target to shoot at. Will be taken out by Phelps in the end. And just like that, they win on eco, but SK had enough of this nonsense already, looking to stamp them out in this round, and probably going forward as well.
compLexity just need to back off right now. They should not try and attempt to retake on a 3-on-5 in this B site. That boost spot not being washed by any of SK. Once again, a lot of respect being shown. But as time is dwindling away, you know, eventually compLexity need to back off, and Def is actually just going to fall immediately, taken out by Taco. And now they're backing off, but they've already lost another rifle, which, you know, they don't really need to lose. I just wanted to mention the previous round. I think we were talking about Fallen, how he may have misread the play a little bit. I think he may have thought he got the dink through the edge of the wall because one of the other players' name came up for the assist. He should have potentially realized, you know, if I dinked one, the assist tag wouldn't come up because of the damage done. But I think he may have thought that he dinked him through the edge of the wall and thought there was only one there. Android's going to get a pick on towards Fur, who was getting a little bit confident trying to push in, but the rest of SK won't be able to get onto the side at time. Orp and M4 going to carry over. They can force something to this, but this is where the problem was. If they had that third M4 saved, if they immediately made the call to back off, we'd be able to see more utility coming out on Uber.
Yeah, which...
Well, he's going to get utility, but he's not going to have an M4
yeah, he's
now.
not going to have an M4, which is, you know, not the greatest thing for them. compLexity really need everything they can get here. And just one final note on that Fallen situation while we're talking about it. The other thing you have to think of is, sure, maybe he could have realized the assist was there, but that all happened in about 3 seconds, and no matter how quick you are, it's understandable at that kind of pace that you would make mistakes. Anyway, that was the eco win from compLexity, but SK already straight back into it, answering back with the gun rounds. They've got themselves another one here. Fallen on the AWP. That is scary, and of course, the pop flash going to do nothing against him. Not sure if he was blind or not, if that was a timing shot, or if he could see, but either way, nails the shot onto Uber. Now, I like what we've got here, this aggression from the CTs. They've completely cleared out. They know there is no one in the T playground there. They know that SK are not waiting around, but they are going to be moving on to the site that those two pushing players gave up RSK. That is the correct call from them. There's no one actually on this A site for now. The CT's already in retake mode. but Android could come through and actually catch him out here. But Cold gonna peek him before the flash even goes. Cold having none of his pop flash antics, and a 5-on-3. Make that almost a 5-on-2. Surreal so heavily tagged. Fallen does get the kill into Def as well. They've got to try and save these guns here, complexity, but it's not going to be easy. SK tasting blood. They know there's blood in the water. They're already going for this. Desi already gone down. Now Surreal with way too many issues to way too many directions to look. Will miss the shot and be taken out by Phelps. So with that win, SK will get themselves the majority of the rounds and the win in this half. They've already got 8, but I don't think they're finished just yet.
Yeah, so complexity now, you can see they're falling apart because they're not able to take the one-on-one deals, and you can see, I guess, you know, the confidence earlier to push into those angles is starting to bleed into desperation. They think they need to push very advanced, very, very forward, and the reason why it became desperation was when SK Gaming was allowed to take that victory, like, immediately after complexity broke them with the eco. The SK Gaming was just allowed to stroll into the B site. There was no contingency measure. That Molotov was instantly extinguished. SK Gaming, obviously, with a lot of experience, knows exactly how to push through. Flashbangs completely blinded everyone on the B site, and they just got mowed down. All complexity to do now, you know, they reset, and they just go, all right, what do we do from here? How can we play together? How can we get the kills working in our favor? Next buy round's going to be the next one. How are we going to hold our A site? How are we going to hold our B site? You know, do we change up the dynamic? What are we going to change up?
That Molotov is so smart. And I just said, I mean, SK can really, they're in an eco round right now. They're not going to be expecting to win this one. They can really just be talking about this right now. And sometimes teams do that. They'll use the eco rounds as a sort of tactical pause, I guess. They take their time to talk about things because you don't expect to win it, and that's not going their way. Like, Uber left in a 1-on-5, already tagged down to, you know, 66 HP. He's going to be one hit by, well, obviously a one-hit headshot. He's going to only require 2 bullets or 3 from an AK. It's 1 single spray, and Cold looking like he's going to find him here. Actually, Uber going to find Cold there with the headshot from the USP, but surely not going to get any more done, and Taco will eventually finish it. So this round really is going to be the one where complexity can at least get a decent buy-in. Maybe not much utility, but they can get themselves M4s and armor. Don't think they'll be able to afford an AWP unless Uber wants to glass cannon one, and that will not be the case. So Desi going to be buying an M4 now, joining his teammates surely as well. So 5 rifles, not a bad buy, but pretty limited on the utility front.
Yeah, this may mean that SK may want to just charge towards somewhere in particular because, you know, B site, once again, has been shown quite weak. As soon as complexity needs to use the initial grenades just to defend something, you know, they're just completely out of defensive utility. So this is a tight round for complexity to work with. And look, I still love this coming out from complexity. They still need to take these risks. It's just not working out, but I'd rather see them take a risk and then fail rather than getting boxed in. They are only going to learn from the experiences from trying to figure out the timings and the pushing as opposed to playing defensive, because they're not going to win these one-on-one aim deals so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they've done some decent amount of damage here, falling down on 12 HP, 4 on 34, but this round will surely be closed out by SK. It's worth noting, look how long they took to bring the bomb into the side as well. They wanted to wait as long as they could to completely clear it out before they brought the bomb in. And I mean, Surreal does get away with a kill, but he's lost a teammate already. Desi and Surreal, the only players remaining. And I do like that from SK as well. I mean, admittedly, sure, they probably know they can beat these guys just based on aim, but they're giving them the respect of waiting to bring the bomb in. Desi fully flashed. He's going to get behind Taco and will actually take him out. What was I saying about they know they can beat him?
Complexity, 2-on-4 clutch!
Complexity out of nowhere. While I'm trying to talk about how they probably won't have a chance in this round, they proved me wrong. I'm always happy to be proven wrong, especially against a team as SK, and now complexity might be able to save themselves from facing down double digits here.
Surreal plays coming out from both Surreal and Desi, because Surreal got 3 kills of the M4, and he didn't even take a single hit. That is clean, especially against SK. So, and I know why SK is showing a bit more respect towards complexity, because they're able to do things like that. And I think the rest of them, you know, jumped a little bit on the gun, you know, didn't really hit the shots that you normally expect them to hit. But at the end result, though, complexity given a little breathing space. SK though want to shut out this half 10-5. Full buy on both sides. Let's see how it goes. Well, not a full buy on Def, I guess. He doesn't have a kit and he has a UMP, but he has to make it work.
And he has a gun, which is better than having a pistol or something in this matchup. Now, we do have orbs out for both times here. I don't think we're actually going to see Fallen versus Surreal directly, as I believe they are in different positions on the map, actually. Fallen in underpass there with the orb. Surreal holding up towards the toilet. So, for now, no orb for orb. I would like to see how that matchup happens, but I suspect, of course, Fallen should win it statistically. But then again, we've been surprised. Statistically, we would have predicted this half being a lot more one-sided. So complexity showing they've got fight in them, and perhaps this underdog factor that they have of never having, I don't think they've ever played SK before, or if they have, it's not been for a while. So they do have this advantage of SK don't know exactly what they can do.
Yeah, good reactions by Surreal to dodge a flashbang coming to the toilets, but now you can see a 3-member hunting squad going out towards long 8. Not going to be anything there as SK slowly going to clear the lines. 40 seconds left on the timer. Still a lot of utility to work with, and Taco being just a nuisance towards the B side. He's going to exit out and maybe find a very quick pick onto one of the members, but Uber not drawn away, trusting in his teammate as Taco going to be falling all the long way back. This may be problematic though, because compLexity do have 3 members up very, very close. Surreal's in a very awkward position. That is an off angle and a half, but he should be smoked out soon. Maybe even flashed out. SK Gaming have to commit towards A site right now, and Surreal is locking down the correct line. Cold Zero if he picks across. No, Fells picks out. Surreal double scopes out, and Burge is at the edge of the smoke. Death gets the pick with the UMP. Surreal finds one with Fells as well. Now a 3-on-5, and Fallen's completely blinded, but Taco able at least to save him out.
There's no time for the plant.
Surreal so close. Cold Zero with a double kill. Absolutely ballistic, but there's no time, as you mentioned correctly. And, well, compLexity able to take the final one, showing that they have the caliber to hold of SK Gaming, and that is not something you can say for every single team.
Yeah, of course not, and that's what you think. That's definitely not a bad half out of compLexity. So hopefully if they can continue this in their next half, if they can get back into this game, but they've certainly shown perhaps more than we were expecting so far.
Absolutely, but stay tuned. We're going for a quick break. We'll be back to see who will take the first map.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome back towards the second half between SK Gaming and compLexity for the ESL Pro Season 5 NA Division. As compLexity, you know, they had a rough CT start, but oh, that is a rough T start as well. Cold Zero gets one, but at the very least is traded out, so still even numbers. 4-4. SK Gaming obviously winning their T half, which is a great start on Overpass. But they need to close out the job against compLexity, who are very eager and shown the potential to do some serious damage.
Yeah, I mean, compLexity only going down by 3 rounds to the half that's really, really good from them. That last round as well, at the end there, they SK just let their push really late, and all compLexity had to do was deny, which they did. They sat there, they got the kills, they got traded, of course, but they ran down the clock so far that SK just had no chance to plant. They got them then 9-6 rather than facing down to 10-5, which means if compLexity can come through, win their T-pistol here, we could see a tied game very soon. I mean, that's, of course, if the standard meta, which is the team who wins the pistol round wins the next 2 force buys, and that's not something I would count on when you're trying to beat out SK and NZ Ecos. But still got this pistol round to get through first. still undecided here, as we do have a 4-on-4. Now, compLexity executing out towards this lower side. Going to be pushing in now, Android on the entry. First engagement is going to be against Taco, and Taco's going to take it. Phelps trying to follow up as well. Bomb can actually go down here, and a dink as well onto Taco, and a kill onto Phelps. So that's good defense so far of the site they're taking from compLexity. The bomb is now down, but now they've got to hold this off in a 3-on-3. Desi, I like this position from him, moving through towards the connector, trying to hold off the rotates before they come. Uber actually posted up towards Monster as well. They're letting the CTs come into this site. Fur going to be the first one in, trying to spot the map, and the other two T's a long way away. So, Surreal down, but there is actually a smoke for the bomb here. Fallen could drop that on the bomb, try and hold the defuse. That's a nice peek from Desi, though, and he could almost get Fallen here, too. The smoke is on the bomb. There's a nice shot from Taco. Fallen's on the defuse, has a kid as well. Uber's got to get this kill now. Fallen's actually off it, and he gets it, too! My goodness, Uber coming through in the end with the 2K, which means that now compLexity can potentially tie this one up.
Absolutely, and that's great plays coming out from both Desi and Uber on the pistol. You know, they both had good CT halves. I mean, so far, you're going to take a look. Uber, Surreal, and Desi, they've all shown glimpses of potential. You know, Def has had a really, really rough CT half, but let's hope he can convert it towards a good T half. On the side of SK, you know, all scattered around. I mean, we've seen some great players coming out of Cold Zero, seen some great players coming out of Fallen, but they need to convert this now into holding together, and they're just going to buy a bunch of pistols, are forcing up into this round. compLexity have a lot of danger to navigate around this one. You can see the respect given. 2 AKs and a Galil for the locking down those long corners with the UMPs to soak up the damage.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's worth noting as well that for compLexity, their top fragger is only a single frag behind Cold Zero, who is statistically the best player in the server and the best player in the world. So to be chasing that close, I mean, that's obviously a large part of why there's only 2 rounds in this between these two teams. But for now, the CT is just holding their corners, waiting for the Ts to walk into them, and it looks like Def and Surreal are going to be looking to do the majority of the damage with those SMGs, and of course, that gives compLexity money, which is obviously what they want here, but Fallen looks like it's going to be pushing down from the A side, could move into the connector, and if they make it to the connector, the Ts, they're going to have Cold right on the other side of this door, Taco over there as well. This is a difficult situation for them. They need to get some sort of flash out here or do something, and the flash is off, but Cold will go down. Taco gets one, gets traded out, so that's a good start for compLexity here, because SK, you can never count them out with any weapons, even only on pistols. This round, not going to be easy, but still advantage compLexity for now. That said, Phelps going to find himself the first onto Surreal. That's the other SMG gone, though. The rifles all remain. Phelps can't even retrieve that thing. Going to face straight into Android. Will be taken down. Bomb is still yet to be planted, but they're all here. Fur trying to do what he can with the Deagle, but nothing doing so far. Bomb is going to go down, and surely now, nice shot from Uber onto Fallen, and there we go. Android will close it out. The anti-eco will be won by compLexity, putting themselves 1 round closer to catching up to SK, which is not words I thought I'd be saying today, Karath.
Well, I mean, it's, once again, still early days. compLexity have a lot of work to do. I need to see the buy round before we can actually make full comments, because SK, you know, just anti-eco so far. I know it doesn't sound very impressive, but they had to navigate 1 eco round. That's good. They only lost the 2 SMGs. How are they going to deal with the buy round coming out from SK? How are they going to deal with the AWP of Fallen? How are we going to deal with the dynamic? You know, how is SK going to play? They're going to play more dynamic, you know, play aggressive, take that short water control, take more map control, try to force compLexity out, or wait for compLexity to come into them. So, Def, a double kill with the Mac 10. That's a great start, and, well, Phelps, though, getting the trade out, so they should at least see or get the call, the 2 more CTs towards the B site. They're still committed, though. You know, maybe not the best decision, but still. For trying to find the shot to Surreal. compLexity just deciding what to do right now. A little bit scattered. Just need to group up to make sure they don't lose any more guns.
Yeah, because losing more guns is not what you want. The other thing is, if you lose a gun, SK are one of the best teams in the world who's going to be able to use a stolen gun against you, especially if one of those AKs falls into their hands. Especially, you know, maybe Cold gets his hand on an AK. That could potentially be game over right there. But for now, compLexity still going towards his upper side. First, still peeking with his Deagle, and now he's been isolated. Surreal will take him down with the Mac 10, so some more money there, which is always good. Phelps actually playing a bit of a sneaky position towards short. Does have players coming his way now. They're coming down through connector. Will take the engagement with Uber and will lose it as well. Nice shot there from Cold, taking down Surreal. But that's only going to be a Mac 10 for him as well. And if Cold's going to steal any weapon in a 1-on-3, only a Mac 10, not bad. If he had an AK right now, this would be much more dangerous.
Yeah, so at the moment, all compLexity need to do, they know Cold Zero is towards A site, just fall back. No need to risk your guns right now. The kill's not worth it. And Cold Zero, I mean, he's got a Molotov. He's deciding what to do with it. It looks like he's
trying to make him think he's running away.
It doesn't work, though, because compLexity holding their nerve, taking a lot of damage. That was the danger, because I felt like Cold Zero was going to get that pick.
Yep.
I felt like he was going to get 1 kill in that situation. But compLexity, well done to navigate the danger. Now here is where the real challenge lies. You've got to navigate against that AWP of Fallen on the defensive side on a map like Overpass. Going to be very difficult. How are they going to utilize the smokes? How are they going to utilize the AWP of Surreal as well? This is really going to boil down to how well, I guess, Surreal can counter Fallen, because this is where the one-on-one matchup really occurs.
Absolutely, and we'll have to see how that actually goes for them. Of course, Fallen, one of the best AWPers in the world. Cold are going to be there with the rifle, a very dangerous player as well. So, hope to see how that one turns out for them. But for now, I mean, there's obviously still a chance in this one for compLexity here on the T side. I mean, we do still have Uber confined to a Galil, and Fallen holding a nice angle towards Long. Will get flashed out, but he'll manage to fall off as well before getting picked. And I'd favor him to win this pick, but Surreal will actually take it as well. Fallen not able to look far enough around in time, which means now we're at a man advantage for compLexity against all the odds. They've gotten rid of one of the most dangerous people on the server with that kill on Fallen. They've still got the rest of SK to deal with, though, who are certainly no slouches, and doesn't get easier. But at this point, it also doesn't get harder, and you've got to take the positives where you can.
That is a great confidence boost as well for compLexity. You know, Surreal's going to stand up and go, hey, this guy might be the best AWPer in the world, but I just took him out, boys. We can do this.
Exactly.
He's going to, you know, that play is just going to rile up. You can see compLexity now pinning up on the B side. It's not over yet, because you can see right now the lurk play coming out on towards Desi. The counter lurk coming out from Fur. He will be able to find Desi, and he will be able to get this information.
He's waiting as well.
He should be able to get this kill very easily. They know it's a B-side executes Fair from behind, and Taco, Flame Coast, gets one. Now Android flashed out. He's got 2 kills now. Oh, Def can't get it around. That's exactly the danger I was talking about, is that if you can't land the kills, SK will shut you down. With those players, they'll shut down, and that all boils down to not only the information gathering play, but also just the knowledge and the crossfires coming out from SK.
Absolutely. That's the problem with playing against SK. When you're going for these aim drills, right? You miss the first shot, or maybe the first 3 shots to allow you about a second or so. If you can't get that across the line, SK are going to shut you down. And you've got to be so careful with that. They've got to be so clinical in their aim here, compLexity. And it just does not get easier. But already 9 rounds on the board. This is a really strong showing from them. So even if they don't win a single more round from here, they go down 16-9. Definitely good things to take from this. But for now, just the pistols. They do have some armor, a couple of Tech 9s. Well, armor on all 3 of the Tech 9s, a Deagle and a P250 with no armor. And now they're getting onto this lower side. Cold and Phelps already here cleaning up. And actually Cold looking to do it again. All of these kills coming in. Bomb will go down for compLexity, which is good. But, oh, there's a nice shot from Uber. Taco on the side, though. They didn't know he was there. Now Uber, 31 HP, surrounded on all angles, trying to get it done. But there's way too many people shooting at him from way too many angles. They will take him down. But compLexity get the bomb down, which is going to be good for their economy.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to afford potentially that AWP once again on Surreal to see if he can make the play. And you can see the danger, I guess, in terms of the previous round. We were talking about the buy round with compLexity. Were able to get the first member, but they were just unable to retain control of the map. And sure, a lot of it didn't really boil down towards, I guess, that 4-on-3 matchup that happened on B side. The problem is that it allowed SK Gaming to get so much information and allow the earlier rotation. So sure, Crossfire worked in SK Gaming's favor. There's experience. compLexity were unable to get the entry frags. That's okay. The problem is the map control. And Overpass is such a heavy map control map for the Ts. If SK Gaming's allowed any more chances to read the information, compLexity are in serious trouble.
Absolutely, and that's the thing as well. You say that about rotations here. It's because of this position where Phelps is right now. This underpass, this connector, it's a direct line to both sides. It's also one, you know, around the back going through bank, getting down to the lower side. If you have control of that as a T, you're great. You can hold off, you know, you can hold off rotations forever. If you lose that, you've constantly got to be checking behind you. And speaking of checking behind you, well, now they know Fallen's managed to steal a pick. I believe that was actually through the broken door. That is Android taken out.
It wasn't through the broken door. It was towards that long B area.
There you go, my mistake.
From, I believe, short catwalkers. Phelps makes the initial engagement. Look at this. Look where Fur is positioned inside the smoke. He's hearing all of this right now. And I would argue on one point. Unders, sure, it's important. But I would say that for all the teams, the most important part of the map, that's a great shot from Surreal. Taco does get another pick, though. The most important part of this map, as SK goes up towards 12-9, is toilets. That is where everything needs to occur. And you can see right now, compLexity has no control over toilets. The reason why toilets are so important is because that feeds directly in towards long A. No CT is going to push up through long A. I've not seen that done in the mid-round, because if you push up long A, you get caught out, your A side's gone. There's all those angles coming up. They're going to try and retain control of the toilets, and all of a sudden the CTs can put pressure and control on the unders position by doing that, because they don't have to, you know, they don't have to control unders directly, but it makes the T's coming out of unders, you know, they have to use utility. They have to use flashbangs. They have to use a lot of their manpower just to clear out those areas. And they can't attack A site, which means that you can focus more of your dedication towards B site, which is why toilets are so crucial. It's easier always to rotate from A to B than it is from B to A.
Absolutely. And, well, it looks like we are going to see, again, as you were just talking about, this lack of toilet control from compLexity. They're not playing in that area at all. They do have underpass for themselves. That's entirely looked at. That's fine. But that upper position, that's a dink through the wall, I believe. Uber down on 19 HP. He won't be happy about that one because there's nothing he can do to return that fire with only a pistol. Now, finally, we do have compLexity moving over, taking this toilet's control. But they have to check every single corner, because when you don't take control of a part of the map early, you don't know where this enemy team could be. And big spray coming through from Phelps will eventually start getting the kills across the line. There's a collateral on those low players. Gets himself a triple, and now Surreal, the last player remaining, has to move up, try and make something of this, but he's already being pushed from everywhere, and Fallen will take him down. 13-9 for SK. They're such a good team with just this grinding style where they just put their noses to the grindstone. They're like, all right, we're just going to get rounds no matter what we have to do, no matter how slowly we have to go. We're just going to force our way through and get the win.
Yeah, pause coming out now, I believe it is probably for compLexity. And they need to talk about pretty much how to gather this toilets control. Because right now, once again, how do you get toilets without utilizing so much utility to shut down Fallen? Because you use too many smoke grenades, you can't get onto a bomb site. And we saw that was a bit of an issue going onto the B bomb site. You know, there weren't enough smoke grenades, not enough Molotovs. They didn't really utilize it wisely. A couple of well-placed CT flashbangs, they were donezo. So, to take the toilets, to apply the pressure on towards Fur and Phelps, because they're going to push through. They want to get information towards the mid-round. That's what CTs have to do. They play reactionary. If they lose the first initial member, it puts them at a disadvantage, because not only do they lose map territory, they have to go out on their own initiative to go fight.
Absolutely. So we'll have to see if compLexity can make anything more of this now. This is attack pause for them, so they'll be able to have a chat and think about what they can change, but really what they need to change, of course, is their map control, right? If they can take more control of the map earlier on and without sacrificing too much utility or players to do it, then that'll be great for them. But again, with Fallen playing so dynamically in this position, that's always a problem. He's actually just getting a pop flash ready to throw for a teammate here to push at Fountain, but there's going to be no T's there, which means look at SK already, the confidence showing through. They've already got 2 players up. That's going to be Fur and Fallen already being like, hey guys, there's nothing here. They're coming towards you on the B bomb site. Stay alive, we're rotating. That's a nice shot out of Uber though to take down Taco. And for now, that is the B site clear. Bomb can go down here, but look at SK flanking in from every possible angle. This will not be an easy retake for compLexity here. Oh,
wow, Fallen, what a huge flick. Surreal, though, will pick up Phelps towards that honest position, so CT is not very easy for them to exit, I guess. Cold Zero does spot Surreal and lands that shot as well. So, Tango neutralized from the back. Flashbang to allow one of his teammates to push in from short. Android playing that dirty water area B, or back B, should I say. I don't think SK really have time to really bust on the site with these 2 AWPs, but they're going to have a good crack at it anyway. They've got the advantage, why not? Fur coming in from short, but they're going to line up. One's going to line up from death. Cold Zero cannot react in time, and Fallen is just going to back out. It's just going to save the AWP. See if we can get maybe an exit, because jumps the gun a little bit, didn't realize there was another one exiting. compLexity will be able to take an AWP into the next round for Surreal, but similarly Fallen does have an AWP, and compLexity hitting double digits, which in itself is a great achievement.
Absolutely. I mean, the closer they can take SK, the happier they're going to be. Now, Overpass is statistically a very good map for Overpass, for SK, but then again, pretty much every map is statistically a good map for SK, so I don't think it's really going to bother compLexity what map they have to play them on. If they can take them this close, they're going to be ecstatic with that result. And of course, they're not out of this yet. They're only down by 3 rounds. They've got another full buy here. This double up on the CT is going to be so dangerous. So Cold and Fallen on those. Incredibly dangerous players. And look at Fur, all the way pushed up here. No respect shown for compLexity. Just going to wait for them to peek into him. I don't think he can quite spot him past the edge of that wall, though. Doesn't know there was 2 players right there who just peeked out. But the pop flash from Desi going over, actually going to completely blind Fur, but Fur holding his nerve, waiting it out. That's so gutsy as well. Normally when you get flashed, you're going to move. You're going to fall back. You're going to do something. But Fur being like, all right, they're not pushing me right now. I believe that. And staying there. And that was actually a very close shot that is going to be missed from that AWP player, I believe. That was Fallen pushed up, maybe Cold, but either way.
I think it was Fallen trying to make a shot. He did barely miss it. Cold Zero just locking down a... Is he playing short, locking down the short angle with an AWP? Because that's definitely an off angle if I've spotted any of them.
Cold Zero.
That is a tight line. That is actually a great line to be utilizing as well. But Fur is going to strike now, like a snake, just waiting. And he's going to strike. Only getting 1, though. Phelps just still holding towards unders, and Fallen just, you know, he can't risk peeking against Fallen. Uber does get away, but he was on 5 HP, and I think he was just willing to throw away the life to see if he could get his teammates to trade. Phelps still in this unders position. Should be able to take down Surreal with this play. He should have spotted the edge of the smoke being thrown out, and this unders, compLexity have no control over the map right now. And this is showing right now, because Phelps, he should be traded out by at least death.
There we go.
There we have it. But 20 seconds left, compLexity can only go towards... Okay, look, they're trying to go towards B side. They lose a single player. It's over. So Taco, all he has to do is molly short. He doesn't have the molly, so he's going to play safe.
If they can kill Taco here, if they can even get onto the bomb site, they're golden. But 8 seconds, they've got to go now. You don't have time to be waiting for this compLexity. And there we go. It's shut down. There is now no chance. That bomb cannot be planted, no matter what Android wants to do. There is just not enough time. I'm not sure I like that rotate out of them. I mean, had they taken out Taco immediately, it would have worked out. But I'm not sure you can really hinge your entire chances in a round of we have to get one single kill.
Yeah, the unfortunate part of that was that compLexity lost control of the map. And as a result, they had to make a split decision. 20 seconds left. They were grouping up for an A-side hit. But, once again, Phelps is able to just come out of unders, get a kill on someone. Even if he's traded out, that's fine. He gets the information. There's 2 toilets. That's why you saw SK rotating early towards the A-side, because the common sense would be 20 seconds left, they have to come into the A-side. You have a little bit more time to work with. If you sprint towards B-side, you have to hope you get the first kill.
Immediately.
Well, we saw what happened. compLexity didn't get the first kill. They got mowed down on the cross. And it was just an easy win for SK game afterwards. Well played by Taku to get those 2 kills as well. Just held his nerve, knew that the bomb had to cross. All he had to do was deny the bomb, and that was it.
It's worth noting as well that had they gone A, they had Fallen to get through, so it wasn't easy for them wherever they went. But again, Cold, look at this angle. This guy is so aggressive right now. And of course, we've seen this time and time again from Cold. One of the bravest players, I think. But the spray down comes in. Cold goes down. There's a 2-for-2 trade. But having already lost a player, Cold are at a disadvantage. They're on this bomb site. They've got to get this bomb down now, but Fur... so sneaky, in behind short already, and Surreal's going to run straight into him. Now it's only Desi left in a 1-on-3, already being locked down by everyone. Fallen going for the peak, gets tagged for his trouble, but Phelps will eventually hit that shot, and that's going to be match point now for SK here on Overpass.
Yeah, so compLexity, I mean, they're showing, I guess, like the steps to make it towards the top. This is a good performance coming out from compLexity. But at the same time, you know, we're using relatives. It's a good performance because you're getting at least 10 rounds against SK Gaming. And a couple of T rounds, at least on executes, is impressive.
Absolutely.
It's not just, you know, oh, we won pistol round, anti-eco, we just cleaned them up. That was 3 rounds. They took 1 round on a T-side execute. To me, that speaks volumes of, I guess, of compLexity's ability to improve. This lineup can only go further. I know I love talking about potential. That's always something that you always love seeing in these new lineups. Is, well, Phelps under a lot of pressure now. Fur is there to relieve him as Fallen is going to be dinked out. Spraying at close range to the Molotov is just going to stop any more progression. Fur just having a little bit of a dance alongside with Desi at the moment. Desi is going to win that one. Fallen, 2 HP. Well, he only needs 1 HP, right? Because he lands the kill on Uber.
Never count Fallen out. That is the rule of playing SK. No matter how many HP he's on, no matter how many players stand against him, you can just never count this guy out. And he's already shown that here with a kill and 2 HP with an AWP as well. That's never easy, but it is going to give the advantage here to SK on their map point here up against compLexity. Now, a minute left to play with, 5 seconds left to play with. The double AWP still well alive here for SK. Desi gets taken down as well, so Def and Surreal. So much work to do here, and the pop flash from Surreal, that's going to be their only chance to get in. Already, it's coming flanked from behind. The damage coming in from Phelps. Surreal in such a tough situation. There's so many players facing him. Has to try and get into this bomb site. Actually gets the 1 kill. Going to be looking for more. Has found himself a Galil as well, trying to get it done. But there is so many players facing him, and Taco will eventually finish it. So there we have it. SK getting the win, 16-10.
I find it funny that Fallen actually did fall to his death just before. I think he took a little bit too much fall damage, and he died just before the round ended. So, but I think at the time, you know, SK Gaming knew that they were going to clutch out that round. And I think, once again, you know, we're hammering on the part of territory control. We could probably go on for a lot on Overpass, but it just boiled down. You saw every single time, as soon as compLexity went somewhere, SK just push in, and they just go, you know what, this area's clean. So, unfortunately for compLexity, I think it's just a very advanced map, and just the understanding of it is, it's very difficult to put into practicality, especially against such a top team.
Yeah, exactly. But the good thing for compLexity there is every round 1 is a victory for them, because they can say, all right, let's have a look. They can get this demo. They can have a look and they can say, what did we do? What worked? What happened? Every round they lose is also great because they can go back to it and say, you know, what happened to us? Did we just lose our aim jewels? Did they have better map control than us? Did they just do some random risky push that worked out? There's a lot they can take from this that is very positive. And of course, we still have another map for these teams to play.
Absolutely. I believe we're jumping on towards Cache, I believe is the next map. So that's definitely something to look forward to. And I think, you know, I think this one's going to be a lot easier for SK Gaming to take, but we'll take a short break for now. We'll be back very shortly with some more ESL Pro League action for the Season 5 NA division. Stay tuned.